Welcome to another message from the streets, just the point of view. Today I'm gonna do a little something different. I'm gonna do a review on a trailer that I seen last summer. I was really anticipating seeing the series that this trailer was expounding upon, and it's a controversial trailer, and I think that's why the series never came out. I honestly think that people protested it or they did something, but it was most definitely what I thought was necessary for the psychic and the psychological perspective of people that don't understand the plight of the former slaves. The name of the series is called Cracka, Cracka. And what goes on in this series is that there is a role reversal of so-called blacks being the slave master to the so-called whites. And the way they did it, it was very, very interesting. Actually, situation happened where these nationalists, possibly skinheads or some type of relations, they ran down on a so-called black guy. And I'm not going to give it away because you will see that part on the trailer, but they actually went through a dimensional travel, and they ended up in a parallel universe per se, and things were not as they were in this particular universe. So let's take a look at the trailer, and then I'm going to expound on it some more after the trailer. Tell me what you think.
Hey, how's it going?
Why don't you step out? Take that
Sure, that black monkey you are.
The earth, make sure I get my nut. And if she bleeds gold, they should crown me King Tut. Nat King Cole, King Solomon. Patricia, know you get rich when I bust. I'm starting to get dizzy. I'm squirting, created the Mississippi River. My nigga took a trip to nigga.
What you looking at, Cracka?
What's your name, Cracka? Michael. What you doing, man?
You
Where I come from, this isn't the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, you are, Cracka.
Welcome back. Be cool.
I'm going to.
Well, okay, you seen it, I seen it, we seen it, and it was very, very explicit in a sense. You seen where as though, if you notice that sometimes the volume was down, and that's because of some of the language that was being used. I did let the N word stay in there and the cracker word because I think that it was necessary. And what I think that the director or whoever produced this series was trying to get across is that, look at it from the perspective of the victims of slavery. See, a lot of times so-called whites, they look at it through the oppressor's perspective and the privilege and the entitled perspective, but not the oppressed. And what this film or this series did was turn the tables. And when the tables were turned, the so-called black man was the oppressor. If you notice, when it first came on, or not when it first came on through, you seen so-called Europeans or Caucasian feet that was dangling. They was being hung. You seen that the so-called black man had raped the European or Caucasian woman or violated her sexually. And, and at the end of it, they caught up with the so-called white guy, and I'm thinking that he tried to escape, and he called him, he said, "Welcome back, Pico." but his name was Michael. You know, and we can identify with that. How, like in the movie Roots with Toby and Kuta Kinte. So this series, I think that it still needs to come out. I think that whatever heat comes behind it, that is necessary, because people need to look from different lenses of life to make an analysis of, you know, where they're at today and why so-called blacks are in the mental psychological condition that they are in some areas. Not all blacks are in this area, but you can understand why some are, and stop being so heartless and so judgmental, and that's, you know, with your thoughts of that, you know, they had an opportunity and this and that happened and that was back then. But no, that's not back then, that is right now. You know, seems like after the judgment in the Derek Chauvin case, that things are starting to make a little adjustment, but it's much more work need to be done in regards of the injustice done to the former slave children, the children of the slaves. These things need to be really internalized and feel it. And I think that this series will actually make a lot of Caucasian people angry, you know, may make some so-called blacks feel a sense of satisfaction, because they say, yeah, you know, they won't, you know, being and cheering of that. But that's not the right attitude either, because injustice is injustice, maybe being inflicted by one nationality of persons or another nationality of people. But we're saying, you know, in regards of what this miniseries Cracka was put out, is that we want justice. We want what is owed. We want we want a formal apology from the government of the United States, which they have never done. They apologized to the Japanese and the Koreans and the Vietnamese and, you know, so many different people that they had conflict with, but no formal apology for the kidnapping, the murdering, the raping, the enslaving of a nation of people. Now these people are all over this country, many of them still psychologically damaged from that cruelest system of slavery, and then entered into systematic racism that has ever been produced on the planet, to the best of our understanding collectively when we review history itself. Maybe later I will come and speak some more on this series, but I think that the main objective is to look in the eyes, or from the eyes or the lenses of the victims of slavery. And I think that's what the message of this miniseries Cracka was attempting to produce or show. I really hope that it does have a rebound. Somebody pick it up, put it on a DVD, or so it can be streamed or something, because I don't think that it's necessary. I know that it's necessary, because so many people are in these false, or have these false paradigms of thoughts when it comes to the oppression and suppression and the systematic racism that has been inflicted upon so-called blacks here in the wilderness of North America. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring this message in love. I leave you this message in peace and goodwill to all humanity. Please, if you have an opportunity, thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Have a blessed day on purpose, with purpose, because life is all purpose.